Carly's ex did an interview on the MMA Holes. Go check out the entire thing on the MMA Holes YouTube channel. Most of it's about the accusations where her and Mark Harley, but during this, she did talk about Brendan Schaub and the fact that she personally saw him cheat, and she talked about the addies and baddies. So I'm going to play this and give you my thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and check it out.
I knew something was up. But I also started hating Brendan because of this. I was putting this on Brendan. Oh, he makes Mark work so much. Oh, Mark doesn't get any money for this, because this was also a thing. While I was working 70-hour weeks at my job and building a real career and working with big brands, he was gone all the time making shit money and leaving me at home with everything to deal with. The cats, sick cats. I have two sick cats that was, that he always claimed to love and care about. And he also is a very, very dirty and unorganized person. So he would literally come in, throw shit on the ground, and let me, I have to pick it up because he knows I don't like to live in this kind of dirt. And so I started despising Brendan, right? I'm like, because another thing that started happening, he started making misogynistic comments to me all of a sudden, because when I met Mark, he was very progressive and he seemed very not slut shaming or anything, and like women and equality and stuff. And all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe if you were cooking more for me, I would behave, if you would be more of a wife, I would behave more like a husband. And in June he started taking off his, he would always have his ring off, and I'm like,
okay, like the Mark interview, there's a lot of stuff you threw at me here. So what I want to do is I want to backpedal. It's fine. No, I'm happy that you're being open and honest with me. I appreciate that. But you did mention that you saw Brendan Schaub cheat. And, the cat's out of the bag, right? A lot of people have been coming out of the woodwork. In fact, one of the quote-unquote baddies DM'd us. Yeah, but then they mysteriously fell off of Instagram. So I don't know. I was like, all right, I was willing to entertain it, but, they kind of fell off the face of the earth. I noticed they were followed by someone, I'm not going to say who, but it kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so talk to me about this. So you're out, were you out at one of Schaub's comedy shows or something like that? When did you see him cheat?
Well, we were in Tacoma in 2021. We were at a wedding, and then Mark was like, let's go. They're in Tacoma. We were in Seattle. So he's like, let's go see a show. You can see Brendan perform, blah, blah. And then we went to the green room, and I'm not stupid, and saw what was going on. And then I became friends with the girl who I'm still friends with. And so when I told her after a while, I'm like, yo, you've been fucking Brendan. She was like, I knew you were going to ask. Of course you could tell. And I was like, of course he would tell. Like, anybody could have told. Like, it was very out there, and he kept staring at her the entire time. And then they would and she had this energy where it's like, look at me, I know we did something.
Did you actually see Brendan, I don't know, kiss her or, do no. Okay, so you didn't see him actually cheat.
Well, when you're this close on a girl's ear, when it's not that loud, and then all of a sudden both of you, she goes to the restroom, and 2 minutes later he goes to the restroom.
Okay.
But then also everybody knew this because he would do it in front of everybody. She told me she went to the Airbnb the night before, and everybody was there. Not Mark at that time, but everybody else was there. So she said they saw him. They saw her, they heard her, and she has no reason to lie to me. And also, he did reach out to her a couple months later, and she ignored him, and I've seen those texts. So that was what I told Mark at the time, and he was like, no, he's not cheating.
So what about him wrangling the baddies? What's that? Were you in on that?
No, so the thing, I think what kind of broke Mark's back is that he went against, after Brendan, and I remember saying to him, this is the time to tell me if you fucking cheated, because this is going to come out now. Mm-hmm. He's so grandiose that he was like, no, I didn't. So he all of a sudden, the last year when he was traveling all the time, he said there was not a single girl. He would tell me there's not a single girl in the green room. There's not single girls. These are just dudes coming up. If there is a girl, they have a boyfriend. And all of a sudden, he puts me in contact with these baddies. And all of a sudden, I'm talking to these girls, and they tell me how Mark had to go get them in the beginning, like that Brendan would give them Mark's number so he could go to the door and bring them to the green room, and all this stuff. And so I'm like, oh, so they were girls. So now you're lying. I have text messages where I'm like, why did you lie to me about it? And he's like, well, I couldn't tell you because you would have told Joanna, because I really wanted to tell her. And he would tell me, you can't, because then it's my job. And so he made it seem like I couldn't tell you because otherwise you would have told Joanna. And which yeah, of course I should, because she should know. So that was his disguise. But, once I outed him, these baddies messaged me and said, well, Brendan did say that Mark would get girls from his DMs. And I didn't, literally one girl was like, I didn't believe it because Mark seemed so nice and he would always tell me I love my wife. I would never cheat on her because he made it seem like, oh my God, what Brendan is doing is so fucking bad. I would never do this to you. He would tell it to the girls. So they were like, no, he's not doing it. Brendan's probably just talking shit because he's angry. But no, he was right, and he was telling the truth.
Huh. Interesting. And the fascinating thing was when Mark came on the last time, and we asked about, you were defending him during the first interview, and then we were trying to figure out the timeline of the new girl that's involved.
All right, yeah, I could not care less about her and Mark Harley's relationship. But, all right, so she saw Schaub hook up with a chick at a wedding in Tacoma, Washington in 2001. This wasn't Andrew Schultz's wedding, was it? I don't know. When was Andrew Schultz's wedding? Whatever, that's besides the point. But how dumb is Brendan Schaub's wife? Now, I've seen people in the past before say, she doesn't care if he cheats, which I call BS on because the man is suing because he said so himself, just starting these lies about that I'm cheating on my wife and I can't put up with that. Well, so obviously she cares. But how dumb is she where he keeps doing it and she does nothing about it? Was there a super prenup signed? Or does she realize that if she divorced him at this point, she would get nothing? I mean, this poor woman is selling her handbags on Instagram, which is completely sad. But, I mean, yeah, Schaub getting the addies and the baddies. This whole thing is hilarious, too, because you got Mark Harley's ex exposing Brendan Schaub while exposing Mark Harley. What a sordid state of affairs this has become. It really is hilarious. And the fact that the dummy started a lawsuit to try and stop people from talking crap about him and stop the rumors that he cheats on his wife. And all that has happened is his career has died. Everyone has turned on him, and now it is confirmed by multiple people who would know and have shown evidence of text messages and voice messages. So now it's just a guaranteed known thing that he does openly cheat on his wife. And will continue to do so. But frankly, I don't care. I just laugh at how dumb his wife is and how, of course Brendan Schaub hired Mark Harley, then fired him, and then Mark Harley exposed him, and now Mark Harley is getting exposed by his wife. Who else could this have happened to other than dummy? Only Brendan Schaub could bungle things this much. Only that idiot could destroy his YouTube channel by suing YouTubers and then go, I think I'm shadow banned. No, dude, you broke the golden rule of YouTube. That's why nobody watches you. And you're not funny. You can't release the worst comedy special of all time, then go, I wonder why I can't sell any tickets. But he's too dumb to even know that. or understand it, and it's hilarious. But I just love the fact that, yeah, of course, this chick saw him cheat on his wife. Hilarious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.